This is Nanye, and we are set to achieve. Today I just wanted to do a video on the narcissistic demonic fog. Okay, what does that do to you? What does that really mean? How does that impact you as a victim of a narcissist? Okay, please, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments. Okay, and I'm also gonna leave a link to an email. I'm gonna leave my email at the description, so those that want to email me can email me, for advice or things like that. Okay, and pretty soon I will have the link to one-on-one coaching. I'm getting it together, but you can send me an email and I will reply your email as soon as I can. Okay, so what is the narcissistic fog? Okay, what is the demonic fog and how does it affect you as a victim? Okay, if you're new to my channel, I was a victim of narcissistic abuse for 17 years, pretty much 20 years, but dated for 3, married for 17. Separated now. It's gonna be a year next month. Okay, to the glory of God. Okay, and during this time I've been processing what has happened during this physical separation, and I've been healing, okay, with prayer, with just relearning myself, and with healthy boundaries, okay, and very low contact with a narcissist. Okay, so when you are with a narcissist, there is a demonic fog around you, okay, and that fog completely encapsulates your life. The fog is brought about by the oppression that you receive when you're with these people. You don't realize how badly you've been damaged by these people. You don't realize how much your self-esteem has taken a hit. You don't realize so much of yourself that you've lost while you were with these people until you separate from them physically. Okay, with anybody that is with a narcissist, the bottom line, the game plan, the final plan is to be physically removed from that entity. Okay, these people only love themselves. They really don't love themselves, but they only are there to look out for themselves. Even if you have children, your children are not their priority. They just have the children with you as a way to keep you in bondage. Many narcissists like to have many children. Okay, my narcissist ex wanted 7, but we ended up with 3, 2 girls and a boy. Okay, so what does narcissistic fog do to you? It keeps you from being able to make strong, valid decisions. Okay, that's the reason why you were with them for so long, because you felt like you couldn't do better. You felt like your life would be over without them. You felt like you would crash. You felt like nobody will want you, that nobody will help you. Okay, and then not to mention the soul tie. When you are so tied to a narcissist, that is what they call the trauma bond. Okay, because they give you such very few sprinkles of fake affection mixed with all the powers of abuse. So that very little affection, even if it's just cooking for you here, bringing you food there, just a little hug here or there, compared to all the abuse and all the tearing down your self-esteem, the devaluation and all of that. So they give you 0.05% of quote-unquote affection, and then the rest of the 90-something% is oppression, abuse, stripping you of your true self, mirroring you, but at the same time telling you that you're nothing. It's worse when they are the primary provider, you know. It's horrible. That's why I tell women, especially, if your children are, able to do for themselves, the age whereby they can do more for themselves, please find something that you can do outside of the home. And even if it's within the home, start an online business. Do something whereby you can have your own money. Because I remember when I would go to the grocery store and I would ask for his debit card. If I bought maybe 1 or 2 things more than I was supposed to, it was a fight. It was horrible. I remember when our home insurance? Yeah, it was our auto insurance needed to be removed. Needed to be renewed, and the time period for that for the insurance, the policy had reached. Okay, so I went ahead and renewed it because it was something that I felt like, well, let's go ahead, because you didn't discuss with me about changing our plan. So when I told him that I had renewed it, and and he was the one paying for that insurance, I had bills that I was responsible for, because I do delivery. I do all kinds of delivery. I'm an independent contractor, so I've always pretty much worked, or I did mobile braiding, or I did something. So I always had something coming in, so I wasn't completely dependent on him, but he had the bills that he was responsible for. So I didn't know that he had it in mind, to switch to somebody else or another insurance or whatever the case may be. If you see the way I was treated, scolded like a 2-year-old, just because I made that decision, man, I felt like just going and hiding myself under something. Okay, so it's just like the years of your self-esteem being torn down. It really leaves a fog. Okay, and the only way to get away from that fog is to get away from them. The only way to remove that fog is to get away from them physically. Okay? There's going to be so much that you're going to figure out as time goes on. I'm going on a year separated from the narcissist. There is so much that I'm discovering about myself. My likes, my dislikes, setting boundaries. Okay? And then you realize that the fact that you were oppressed by this narcissist stemmed from the abuse that you got from your own family members. So you're going to start seeing things clearly when you get away from this fog, from this narcissist. You're going to start realizing that you were not only abused by the narcissist. The reason why you opened up yourself to be abused for so long by the narcissist is because you had been trained to accept the abuse by your own family. Okay, so you were trained to be abused. You've been gaslit your whole life. Could have been your parents, your siblings, the person that raised your guardians. Being told that your opinions didn't matter. When they hurt you, refusing to address the situation and just going on like nothing ever happened. That is gaslighting. So no wonder you ignored all the red flags when the narcissist came into the picture. No wonder. Because it had become, you were trained to do so. It had become part of you. Okay? So the only way that the fog of the narcissistic abuse is going to lift is when you get away from them. Okay? Start setting some kind of game plan, escape plan. Very important. Whether either you are the one that leaves, or he leaves, or you find a place, or whatever the case may be, or you go stay with somebody for a while, whatever it is, it's when you physically separate from those people that you start getting yourself back. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing short of that. You have to save yourself first, even before you're able to save your children. Because you can't keep what you don't have. If you're completely trapped in your mind, caged, weakened, how are you going to save your children? So that is the first step. Think about yourself first. At this point in time, you have to be selfish. Okay? The narcissist has made you to put them as your God. The focus of your entire life. Before you think of anything, you have to think about them. What would they think? What would they say? How would they react? That is your whole life. That up until now. Okay? Okay, so just make sure that you, first and foremost, turn to Christ, because he's the one that will heal you. There's no other healer but him. You know? Stay abreast of, you know, keeping, like, watching videos. That's what I did to help myself. You know, keeping to watch videos and get more and more knowledge of this thing. Because for myself, I didn't even know that I was encountering narcissistic abuse until actually it was towards the time that we separated. Basically at the end of the relationship. I didn't know what I was dealing with. I knew it was abnormal, but I didn't know that there was a name, that it was narcissism, that it was narcissistic abuse. I didn't know what it was. I started Googling stuff, researching, going on YouTube, putting down certain behaviors, and I actually started doing my research. And that's why the church didn't help me. You know? It didn't help me. It didn't help me at all. You know, because you are told that, you know, stay with your husband, you know, blah blah blah, you know, but they don't know anything about abuse. Okay? So I hope to help somebody. Please leave your comments. If you need to email me, I'll leave my email. Remember that your comments help other people. There's women that are battling this thing. There's people, men too, but I'm here to focus especially on women, because I know that women all over the world, you know, are more easily abused, you know, because of the role that we play as a nurturer, you know, and we're more taken advantage of. Even though there are female narcissists, I definitely know that for sure. So till next time, peace.